Being a mom of two girls and being a grandmother of twin girls, I see how important it is that shaping the future for them is important to me. And I don't want to wake up again after another election and say, what could I have done more?
Welcome back to the Around the Districts podcast, where we bring conversations to you with the people shaping our communities, our districts, and the future of Arizona. I'm your host, Gabrielle Mazar.
I'm Nicole Brown.
And on today's episode, we're joined with someone who wears two important hats, serving both as the LD chair and member of State Party Executive Board, Melissa Galarza. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we're really excited to have you on today because, this is a big deal. You do a very important job for local elections and local communities. So, Nicole, you have some important questions to start and join in on.
No, well, actually, Melissa, let's talk about your story. Like, what got you involved in politics?
Yes. So I first became a registered Democrat in 2008 when Obama ran. I wanted to vote in the primaries for him. I wanted to vote in the general election. I actually waited in line over 2 hours in Levine because that's back when you had to go to a specific voting location in order to vote. Then I kind of just dabbled just here and there. I just was a voter. What really got me was in 2016 when I lived in Texas and I got involved in the Beto O'Rourke campaign. I was inspired by him. And I started working on the other campaigns and that. And after he lost, I felt like I didn't do enough. What could I have done? I was like second guessing everything. So then I just started doing more and more. And every election, it just became more and more important because I just saw that all of our voting rights and our abilities were being taken away. Everything I stood for, my values, and being a mom of two girls and being a grandmother of twin girls, I see how important it is that shaping the future for them is important to me. And I don't want to wake up again after another election and say, what could I have done more? So I do everything I possibly can, sometimes even more than I should, to make sure I never have that feeling again, because it was the worst feeling. That I had more time. I could have done more, and I didn't.
Except that we are kind of there now, right?
Yeah.
With nationally, with what's going on and with the Voter Rights Act, what's happening around the country with that, in states really targeting specific groups because that's what they're doing. And so it's that kind of thing that kind of situation inspired you to want to get involved and do more. And so you've been the chair of LD12 for what, the last 4 years?
5 years.
5 years. And under your leadership has become very successful, right? Like, talk about LD12 and what wanted you wanted to be a chair, or how did that happen? You wanted to be a chair? You
No,
right in.
I didn't.
Or what happened?
I wanted to learn more about what an LD does, and because I started off working for people that were running for president or Congress, and I was doing those positions, but I was like, local politics matters. They are the ones that change our daily lives. So I was like, okay, so I actually ran to be the first vice chair of the LD. And about a month into my position, the chair had stepped down for medical reasons. And I probably know why now. After doing this for 5 years, it's a lot. Mm-hmm. But she stepped down, and so I became the acting chair, which then I was elected as the chair. And since that moment, it has really changed how I looked at politics. There is so much that happens at the LD local level. We have increased our precinct committee counts, our state committee members. We have more volunteers than we have ever had. We have increased our voter turnout in every single election year after year.
Yeah.
So it's inspiring because I'm like, I'm reaching voters and they appreciate it. because voters get busy. We all do.
Mm-hmm.
So they need people like us to volunteer our time to help guide them through elections,
Right.
to help them, tell them when they are, how to vote, what's on your ballot. There's so
Right.
much that goes on. So yes, local politics matters to your everyday life.
Right. But under your leadership, the state committee members in LD12 grew, right? Okay, full disclosure, I'm on the executive board as an at-large member, but also a state committee person. So LD12 has one of the biggest or highest number of state committee members right in the state, right? Is that
That
correct?
is correct.
And then also PCs.
Correct. So your state committee members are based off of how many PCs you recruit. So for every 3 PCs we recruit, we get 1 member of the state committee to go to the state party meetings 3 times a year and represent the district. So we have, we increased in 2024, we increased our PC count by like over 111%. We recruited well over 280 PCs that year. And then this year we beat that record. And so we'll have even more state committee members. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head.
And that's okay. But what was the work that you guys did to really, because it is not like just walking around and saying, hey, Gabby, you
Well, actually, that is actually what happened. That is actually what happened.
I did corner her. I did.
She did.
I
corner
did.
me, and that is what happened.
Well,
But
normally.
to be fair, I did want to be more active, and it was kind of, for me personally, I will say, I started coming to the meetings because of the last election, and I wanted to get more active, and I finally said it was enough. And kind of what was a shock to me was when I went to the Christmas party, and it was a lot of very old people. And I thought, this is weird. I'm like one of the youngest people here. And I thought, I really need to be involved because I need to get more young people motivated to be involved. I mean, it was really shocking to me that there were not a lot of 40-year-olds that cared more. I don't know. I guess anyway, so when you asked me, I was like, I had to think about it for like a day.
She did one day.
Well, listen,
And then I decided, yes, I want to get involved, and this is where I have to start. And we had talked about it previously. So yeah, it is important to me, and you have to start somewhere.
But in defense of the old, I like to say seasoned people.
I know what you mean. Older, like 70s, old 80s,
Seasoned.
older. I like that. It was very shocking to me that it was like,
to me, that's like
not like 40s and 50s.
I get what you're saying,
70s,
because
80s.
we have to have that succession planning.
Yeah, exactly.
But in like with LD12, and when I joined and noticed and got involved in the LD, there's so much knowledge there, because the people that are there are ones who have been like election after election. I can name members who have done something in every election, going back to Kennedy and things like that. You know what I mean?
Which I think is also motivating. Yeah. So it's really cool to talk to all the people and get to know everybody and know all the things that they've done, which is why I like to meet all the people and go to all the events and do all the things. But to not have a succession plan, and don't get me wrong, there definitely are. We've had a lot of young adults on our podcast, but I wanted to get involved specifically because I wanted to.
And I think strategic planning is important. And that's things that on LD12 has really talked about, is motivating younger voters to get involved, just because we know, people are, getting older. So what are some of the plans that, as the chair, what are the things that you talked about when it comes to recruiting younger voters?
Yes, we do work with different organizations like the Keep Arizona Blue Student Coalition, the ASU Young Democrats. So we work with these different organizations to help bring in those young voters. Mm-hmm. You also have to keep in mind that these young voters, they're busy. Mm-hmm. They got full time. I have a full time job, yes, but my job has flexibility. But they have full time jobs. They go to school. They're probably
have kids, especially
yes,
in the
young kids. It makes
late
it really
20s, early
difficult.
30s.
And so but we do need them because they're able to talk to the young voters more than I am. I cannot relate to somebody who is 18 years old and a first time voter. I mean, I could tell them how it was on my experience, but that's not going to get them to be continuing to vote. So we partner up with a lot of them to be able to, we support them financially with whatever they need so that they can get out and reach those voters. And it's easier for people that are young to reach the young voters. They're going to connect on a level that I can't connect with them.
Right.
I have different needs. I have different wants in my life versus what they need or want. Some of them are all about the environment, where somebody else who's maybe in their 30s and 40s is all about education. So you have to be able to get a young voter to reach out to another young voter.
Right.
So helping them is what we like to do here in the LD.
And LD12, the volunteers, I mean, it's a huge group of people. It's not like you have stragglers like here and there wanting to volunteer. Like you have motivated individuals of all age ranges, I guess, that come out and really want to help because we were able to, and I'm going to say we because I live in LD12 and so do you, but who reelected all three of our legislators. They all got elected the last 2 cycles, right?
Yes.
So we've gotten all 3 of them elected and hopefully will again this November.
Yes.
So talk about that. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, well, I will say here in LD12 in the 2024 election, I brought my little stat sheet for you. And I just want to tell you that in that election, our Senator Mitzi Epstein, she won every single precinct in our district. Every single one she won.
Because Missy's awesome.
She is. And in our house, we had 2. We had Stacy and Patty, and they won all but 2. But the 2 precincts that they didn't win, and we have 50 plus precincts, they lost those by less than 110 votes. So we know that what we did is working because we had we keep increasing our turnout, but we do it with our voter guides. LD12 puts together a very simple voter guide. We've done all the research. We've gathered it from different organizations. We've looked at every single website. We talked to a lot of people. And what we do is we are going to help you, tell you everything that's on your ballot. Yeah. And we do this about every Democrat that's running. And if it's a nonpartisan, we tell you which Democrat or which people share our values as Democrats, and we will support them. But we'll tell you everything from school board to constables to, there's also things like
the voter guide.
It is to governor's race to do people aren't talking about the Arizona mine inspector, not a lot of people know about him. And awesome. The importance of voting giving these people the name recognition that they need. And again, people are busy sometimes. So every time we go and give these out, people are like, "Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, this makes
people don't have time to do the research."
Yeah,
I remember working
know what to vote for.
And trying to vote, and then I'm like, I don't know who this person is, but I mean, I guess I'll go for this person, or you try to do some quick research in the process.
Yes. Or you leave it blank.
Or to even know where to go to look it up to vote. So even if you go to research somebody, it's like, oh, is this the right place or is this the right information? Even if you can go to the person's website, but you see their values and stuff and what they're running on, but you want to do a little more research. But if you have all of this right here, you know exactly where to go. You make it.
You're like, here, they can take this with them.
They can.
They can fill it out at home, take it with them to the polls.
Yeah.
And then just look and see, you've already done the research. The LD has done the research.
We have a team of people that do that. And because we started doing this, we also get an amazing return ballots, because we put on there when you have to return your ballots by. We get them returned early. But we, in our district, in that 2024 election, if you were only looking at our LD, we elected every Democrat up and down that ballot. Every single one of them won in our district. That was like the first time we had ever done that. So it was great because
That was in the last election or
Yes.
the last two election?
the last election, I think in the election before we came close. I don't remember which one. But in this last election, it was every single person. And it was like, that was a great feeling because it was like, wow, we're doing our job. We're getting the word out about every single candidate and every single proposition. And it's amazing. And that's the thing. And we need
Something to be proud of as an LD chair
Yeah.
because it takes a lot to run or to lead a
Mhm.
group of people this large. You know, the
Yes.
members. You have a lot of members in LD12.
we do.
And to keep them motivated and coming back to the monthly meetings and to Watering Hole Wednesday, whatever is out there.
Yes.
Dims and donuts. It takes a lot. And I go to quite a few of those events and I see that there's enough people there to say, you got a nice crowd.
Mhm.
And especially the ones in the evening, because to your point and your point,
Mhm.
younger folks are working.
Right.
So what would you say though, Melissa, because on this voter's guide, it gives not just the names of who you should vote for, important dates, time frames, things like that, on when people should vote, return the ballot. How important is it, and talk about, you can register people, but you don't want to just register people to vote.
Correct.
That does nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Being a registered voter is one of the things that people should do. But actually getting somebody to get out there and vote, it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
We knock on doors, we write postcards, we do text messaging, we do lit drops, we do all of this stuff. But what really matters is when you use that right to be able to vote, to get out there and actually drop the ballot and to continue to do it. So it takes a lot. We do a lot of neighbor to neighbor stuff. So where we ask people who become PCs or volunteers to talk to your neighbors. I mean, I've made some great friends in my neighborhood because I know that they all know what I do and how I volunteer, but it's great because we know that we can talk to each other about what's going on in everyday life in the world. And they always look forward to filling out their ballots and talking about, well, how do I do this? What should I do? They know that they have an ally to ask questions about.
Mhm.
So if you're not sure, then, that's the thing. And so again, though, as a voter, thank you for registering to vote, but that does no good to us if you don't actually fill out your ballot. If you don't fill it out, don't send it back, don't drop it off, vote in person, whatever you would like to do, and every vote matters. Every vote is counted, and we work our butts off to make sure that your vote counts.
Yeah. So we're here with the LD Chair, Melissa Galarza. We're going to talk more in the next episode about how she can help other districts and what she does to work with them as well to motivate voters to get out to vote. But thank you for coming on the show today. We're going to have another episode talking more with you about that as well. So what are some ways that people can reach out or figure out what district they're in, and so that they can get involved in their district?
Mm-hmm. So I would tell them to first is you can go to BeBallotReady.AZ, and you can look at your voter registration. It gives you your congressional district, your LD, your precinct, it gives you all of your voting information. There's lots of ways out there. You can just Google, what LD do I live in? And it will tell you, give you those different ways when you put in your address. Signing up for your LD newsletter is the first step I tell everybody to do, because when you get an LD newsletter, you're going to find out what's going on in the LD. Again, like to your point, some people might like to do happy hours. Some people are breakfast people. Some people are not the meeting types. But yes, getting involved in your local LD is very important, and signing up for their newsletters.
Yeah. So we're going to talk more about that on the next episode, but you can go to Be Ballot Ready or just Google to find out what district you're in so you can get more involved. So we're here with Melissa Galarza. We're going to talk more with her on the next episode. This is Around the District podcast. You can like, follow, share, or comment and let us know. We will see you in the next episode.